discovered a dead baby in the bathroom. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry. Freaking out and even into the night.
A New Mexico teen mom accused of stuffing her newborn baby in a trash can will soon face trial for her infant son's murder.
I'm sorry about this, but in terms of delivering a baby and it looked like you tried to hide it, we do have to have the police involved.
And that thing was crying. It came out with nothing.
The case shocked the nation when then 19-year-old Alexee Trevizo was arrested and charged with first-degree murder. At the time, she was a high school cheerleader finishing out her senior year. The moments leading up to Trevizo's arrest are all caught on body camera video.
Like, how big is the baby?
It's full term.
What? 9 months? That thing was crying.
The baby's dead. Okay, we have him in trauma too, but she killed the kid.
Meanwhile, a Change.org petition to boot the accused murderer off our college campus has reached nearly 30,000 signatures.
I've never seen anything like that, and I pray to God I never see it again.
The story takes us back to January 27th of last year, when then 19-year-old Alexee Trevizo was admitted to an Artesia, New Mexico emergency room complaining of back pain. ER staff recount what happened after Trevizo was admitted to the hospital, comparing the scene to a bloody massacre.
I was called and to go clean the patient's bathroom in ER around, maybe 2 o'clock or so, I think it was the time, I'm not too sure. So when I went in there, it was a bloody massacre mess.
Could you describe it if possible?
Yeah, there was blood everywhere. There was blood on the floor, on the wall.
Do you remember which wall?
The one behind the toilet, and then the one on the side right here. You know, there's the one where the toilet sits, back of that.
Yeah.
And then on the side.
Where the call button is?
Yeah.
Okay.
And on the floor, everywhere. It was all over the place. All over the floor, because even when I was going into the bathroom, there was blood on the coming out of the bathroom on the floor.
Okay.
So it was everywhere.
Okay.
So there's blood coming out of the bathroom? Do you
Yeah,
know how far it
footsteps.
went? Okay.
I think they were the person that was in there, her footsteps.
The footsteps belong to Trevizo, who was also seen on security camera video going to and from the bathroom. Hospital surveillance video shows Trevizo leave her patient room at 1:38 a.m., waddling toward the bathroom while clutching her back. Trevizo remains in the bathroom for 19 minutes as multiple people check in on her.
I knocked on the door and I said, "Are you okay?" And she said, "Yes, I'm fine. I'm just having a hard time going to the bathroom," is what she replied. So I was like, okay.
She said she needed to go have a bowel movement, and that's kind of when the whole thing happened. At some point, I went and kind of checked on her, knocked on the door, seen if she needed anything. She denied. She said she didn't need anything.
Did you hear anything?
I didn't hear anything.
Flush, toilet flush?
Yes. After a while, I started hearing. So I probably checked on her 2 to 3 times. I'm not exactly sure. And then I just kept hearing paper towel dispenser and flushing and like the water running. And I knocked again. Did she need anything? Denied anything. And then eventually it got to a point where I said, "You need to come out," and I asked the clerk to get the key to unlock the door, because obviously she locked the door to go to the restroom. And whenever we finally had the key to unlock it, she opened it and just kind of walked out.
Did she say anything at that
point? She didn't say anything. She was just looking kind of straight past me and went back to the room.
Surveillance video captures that moment as Trevizo leaves the bathroom and heads back to her patient room. It was then that hospital staff got a first look at the bloody bathroom.
And all I saw was like blood everywhere, like on the walls, on the toilet. It just looked like a horror film.
At first, hospital staff thought Trevizo may have hurt herself or suffered from a miscarriage.
We didn't know what this blood was from. We were a little concerned that maybe she had, known that we were going to figure it out and that she might have harmed herself or something in the restroom, so the doc wanted to go check her, but obviously that wasn't the case.
She came out of the restroom. There was a little trail of blood from the bathroom back to her room. We went to her room. I went to get her undressed. The doctor came in, explained to her that she had a miscarriage. Her and her mom had a back and forth about it.
The doctor said she had a miscarriage?
Yeah.
Okay.
She said it seems essentially like, I'm not sure the exact words. because it was a few months ago, but she said, you know, it seems that you've suffered from a miscarriage, which didn't seem totally abnormal. I've seen awful miscarriages before that are very bloody.
Right.
And so...
Was she bloody?
Mm-hmm.
Like
And then
her legs? And
yeah, she had blood all down her legs, and then there was like blood in the bathroom everywhere, so...
Where exactly was the blood and how much?
It was a good amount. It was like on the floor.
But when staff begin to clean the bathroom, they find something much more nefarious.
When I went to go through the trash, I felt that when I picked up the trash and I looked in it, there was trash in it. But I knew that didn't feel like when I picked it up, it was some weight. So I thought it was the trash bags, because we put the trash bags on the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
And so I started getting the trash out, and then when I did that, I seen that there was a baby in there. And that's when I freaked out, and I called Lori and HT, or the nurses up front, and because there was a baby in the trash. And the baby, when I looked at it, the baby was wrapped up like in like at the bottom of the trash can, and with trash on top of it.
Can you like describe the baby?
Yeah, he was about like that big. He had hair, and he was like purplish, but still not like pink. You know, I don't know how to describe it. You know, he wasn't bruised or nothing like that, and he was like purple, pink skin type color.
Okay.
How was the bag? How was the bag placed, or what?
It looks like she wrapped it around like that, and then wrapped it like under him, and then put him on the bottom of it.
Okay. And was the baby moving at all?
No.
Okay. Did you touch him at all?
No.
So when I picked it up and I moved it towards the door, I was like, it is heavy. So I pulled it out because it had like a fresh liner inside, so we didn't think nothing of it because we looked. So when I pulled the liner out, there was like paper towels. Then we had rolled trash bags already in there, but she had grabbed a few and like balled them up and put them on top of him. So when I removed them, that's when I noticed the baby on the bottom of the trash can just wrapped in the bag. Like she had it tight, like because it was the top was twisted and then like tucked under, like so it wouldn't open up. And when I picked it up, that's when I noticed it even more, because all I saw was black and purple. But once we picked it up, like the bag suctioned to his face, and that's when I yelled for my charge nurse, which was HT, and I told him, hey, she put her baby in the trash can. So I handed the baby to him, and he took off to the trauma room and opened up the bag, and then that's when we went and got Dr. Vasquez. To me, I mean, it looked like she had given birth in there and was trying to clean it up. Like, it wasn't that much blood on the floor, but you could tell she was cleaning it up because it was, like, smeared and somewhat cleaned up a little bit. I usually, when there's, like, one or two things in the wastebasket, I usually pick it up and take it out, but I didn't that night. And then, like, I've been kicking myself on this because I feel like, you know, if I would have just taken it out, I would have seen it.
Well, no one prepares for that type of thing. You know what I mean? Most people don't act like that. So don't blame yourself for it.
Yeah.
Because it's not a natural thing to do. Well,
I mean, it's just hard because I'm a mother, I'm a grandmother, and I've dealt with death before, but never like this.
Right.
You know, like, it was horrible. The umbilical cord looked like an animal had tore it apart. Like, you know, have you ever eaten string cheese? Like, you know, when you twist it, that's how the bottom of the umbilical cord looked. And I just remember it caught my eye, and I was like, God. I was like, this chick really ripped this thing apart. I mean, that's just something I'm never going to forget.
Right.
As soon as the baby was discovered, medical staff immediately sprang into rescue mode, but it was too late.
So I saw the baby in there, so I pulled the baby out, got him on the bed, checked for signs of life. There was absolutely no life whatsoever. I immediately came out of there. After I did that, went into the room where she was performing the vaginal exam, and I immediately told her, you have to come out now. And she came out, and we went into trauma 2, and she reassessed the baby. At that time, between me and Chris and her, we determined, you know, there was no reason for us to begin any life saving. The baby was completely gone.
At that point, medical staff told Trevizo and her mom what they found.
We discovered a dead baby in the bathroom. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry. It came out of me and I didn't know what to do.
Lexi, I told you about this.
But it
I just asked you, baby, to tell me the truth.
it was not crying or nothing.
What did you do to it? Okay, stop right here.
I
Stop,
just
stop.
put it in-
Number one priority, guys. Number one priority is she just had a baby. I don't know if she's delivered the placenta. She's bleeding significantly.
Yeah.
I've spoken to the obstetrician at Loveless. They want her out there as soon as possible.
Early on, Trevizo was told that the baby's death would be investigated by law enforcement.
I'm sorry about this, but in terms of delivering a baby and it looked like you tried to hide it, we do have to have the police involved.
And nothing was crying. It came out with nothing.
I know. But the baby's gonna have to be taken for autopsy and there'll be an investigator and everything.
At this point, Trevizo's mother learns the baby was full term.
Do you guys have, I'm the charge nurse here, do you guys have any questions for me?
Like, how big is the baby?
It's full term.
What? Nothing,
9 months?
nothing was crying.
Lexi, have you watched the news of the girls that what they do to their babies and what they go to jail?
Nothing was crying.
Where did you put the baby at? Tell me the truth.
When we got in there.
Where did
517
you put the baby at?
836 460.
That came out of your toy bag?
It was crying.
You put it in the bag?
Yes.
Yeah.
In what bag?
It was bad.
Why did you say anything to us? Do you want to get in trouble for this now? You could get in trouble for
Mom,
this baby.
Mom, alright, just give it time, okay?
She essentially was scared. She was worried that she was going to get in trouble. She did have the back and forth with her mother that was just about like, they had said, oh, the mom was upset because she had had sex and hadn't told her. So they were going back and forth on that, and then she was just denying it, which was a little out of the, wasn't really deniable at that point in time.
Right.
So the patient was denying having sex at this point to her mom.
Yeah, she was trying to state that she was still a virgin.
After she came in from the bathroom.
Let's take a quick break from the story of Alexee Trevizo to talk about something important. That's where our sponsor of this news package comes in, truthfinder.com. Here's how it works. Go onto their website, truthfinder.com, and say, for instance, you have a new neighbor. Let's say your new neighbor is me. You type in my name, and within minutes, you get access to reports that include info like numbers, addresses, previous arrests, and criminal convictions. Goes without saying, but my Truthfinder record is sparkling clean. So right now, you can get 50% off confidential background reports at truthfinder.com/LCnews. Hospital staff later told first responders they felt Trevizo had been hiding the pregnancy.
It seemed like she'd been trying to hide this pregnancy from her mother for some time.
Mm-hmm.
So if you know you're pregnant, you're not going to continue taking birth control pills. But if you're trying to hide it, you might start taking weight loss medications. That's just kind of what it seemed like in my head.
It just seemed like we were being just deceived from the beginning, like, but that's just my take on it. It seemed like she was very manipulative with us, and it was at least what it seemed like to me. She didn't want you to discover, that she was pregnant, and she wore really baggy clothing. And she wouldn't sit still for you. I'm sure she was very uncomfortable too, but yeah, she wouldn't allow you to do it.
But Trevizo told an ultrasound tech she didn't know she was pregnant.
I didn't want to have a conversation with her after I was given this information, but she was talking to me, and while I'm trying to get things set up, and she says, I don't know what's going on. She said, I didn't know I was pregnant. I'm a cheerleader. I started gaining a lot of weight. My clothes were tight. I was taking birth control pills. So she said this didn't make any sense to me. I don't know what to tell you. And I did my scan, and then I left.
Hospital staff said all this seemed like an act.
So my assumption was, she panics because when she was talking to me, she was talking pretty rapid, and she was like, I don't understand. So, was it all mental, psychological? Who knows? But she definitely knew what she was doing, and what was doing was wrong, because of the way she was talking to me, just stating, I didn't realize I was pregnant, and, but I'm taking the birth control, so, I mean, she was panicked, but, I didn't see her being in a state of mind where she did not know what she was doing.
Others described their shock at Trevizo's emotions after the baby was discovered.
I went in there to talk to the patient,
Okay.
and asked her why was the baby in the trash can.
And what did she say?
She said that it just came out of her and she didn't know what to do.
Did they have any comments?
Not one.
Really?
I was really surprised. Not one person asked me about the baby, if it was alive, if it was dead, if it was a boy, if it was a girl. No one asked me anything. Not even, she didn't even ask. No, she didn't ask. The only thing she started doing was crying and started talking about she didn't know what to do. Not one. I've never seen I've delivered multiple babies and I've seen multiple miscarriages, and I've never seen a reaction like that. And I don't even know what to say about that. I've never seen anything like it.
How would you describe the reaction?
I think there was no emotion except for herself, and she really wasn't even crying tears. She was just, and the only thing she was upset about was that I think she was going to be in trouble with her mother. I'm just going to tell you this: I've never ever seen a reaction like that girl. I don't even know what to say about it. There was zero emotion. I don't even know what to say. I've never seen anything like it. I've seen women that are only married, or not married, but pregnant for 6 weeks, and they lose that baby and they're a mess. You know what I mean? That girl went into that bathroom, made no sounds at all, and the baby came out of her. And I don't even know how she functioned that way, to do what she did and with no emotion. I've never seen anything like it.
And it was a pretty good sized baby. Pretty good size.
It looked term to me.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, it was term. I can't tell you that was, but the only thing that upsets me the most is I understand she was scared, and I think her mother had a big dynamic on her, and I understand that. I mean, I think her mother was probably pretty controlling. I don't know that. I'm just speculation. But she gave me no chance to save that baby. I had no chance, and that's not what I do. My job is to save lives, and I had no chance on that baby. She gave me no chance. And we are a facility that you can drop the baby off, no questions asked. You can just leave the baby and go. I don't care, as long as you bring the baby to a safe. We are one of those type of hospitals, so it's hard to fathom what was going on in her mind. I don't know. I've never seen anything like that, and I pray to God I never see it again.
Trevizo was ultimately charged with first-degree murder and tampering with evidence in the second degree. She graduated high school last spring and was admitted into New Mexico State University. Shortly thereafter, a Change.org petition was created to kick Trevizo out of the school and get her off campus. Right now, it's at nearly 30,000 signatures. Trevizo is due back in court in July for a pretrial hearing, and after that, her jury trial is slated to begin on August 26th. Reporting for Law&Crime, I'm Gillespie.